again, everybody, I'm BrianTheBlue, and welcome back to Current Calamities, where I take a break from the past to look forward to the future with the games of the present.
Kirby, that's the name you should know. Kirby, he's the star of the show.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo's little pink puffball is back again with a brand new open-world adventure just in time for his 30th anniversary.
Dang, I've forgotten he's been around that long. I sometimes forget he exists because I barely play any of his games, and I will admit that's a crying shame. Out of his 30 or so games, I've only played 2, but then I turn around and remind myself, oh yeah, there's more to life than Kirby.
The only other Kirby game I played as of this video is Pinball Land, which I've done a quick view on recently, but I'm hoping to change that because there's definitely some titles I want to get and catch up on in the future.
But right now, I have the latest and, from what I've heard, possibly the greatest in the series, and I'm gonna get to playing it now. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Interesting start asking about internet access and choosing your level of difficulty. Gotta go with wild mode, cause what could possibly go wrong?
The plot is, as you would imagine, a normal day on Planet Popstar until a portal comes in and sucks up the inhabitants, including Kirby, to a place unknown by forces unknown. But if you didn't know any better, you'd think we're starting at the beginning of the original Crash Bandicoot. Upon awakening in this newfound place, you can freely move around and explore the land you now find yourself on. This is the way new players can get familiar with the controls and how the game works, or let seasoned players refamiliarize themselves with Kirby's movements and copy abilities, but every player will be introduced to Kirby's newest ability as shown by this cutscene. When he inhales something that's too big for him to consume, it just stays in his mouth and enlarges his pink body around it, and so we have mouthful mode.
Are we ever gonna learn what the anatomy of a Kirby is? Cause this just adds a whole other layer of questions to how he operates.
When you're in this mode, and depending on what object you've inhaled, you can do special abilities related to the object, like with the car I can jump and dash forward. They can easily help in progression in one way or another, as it did knocking down this bridge for us to explore more of the land, and turning on this bopping beat.
It's only fitting that Kirby gets a kick-ass tune since Mario got one too. They both share a similar style of gameplay over the years of their evolution together.
We soon come across these new foes capturing our old foes, friends, frenemies, the Waddle Dees, along with this new creature we've never seen before. We easily take them out and rescue who we'll come to know as Elfilin. He tells us these beasts have captured all the Waddle Dees that built this little town, so we volunteer to help rescue them, and this is where we get into the core game. From the town we head to the natural plains, where the main goal is to rescue a number of Waddle Dees level by level. This can be done a number of ways, the obvious being to complete the level and find a few hidden about, but there's a couple more random tasks you can do to rescue an additional few more, like, I don't know, removing a wanted poster, finding secrets that you'd probably find anyway, or eating 4 donuts.
Don't be surprised when you have to use those spikes in order to figure some of this stuff out.
Waddle Dees aren't the only collectibles you can find, as you'll also have lots of coins that'll come into play later, as well as collectible figurines that might be better served for after you complete the game, because there's a lot of them, like Amiibo.
I don't let shit like that consume me. I only have one Amiibo, which is the coolest looking set ever, and one pop figure. Can't wait to see these go the way of the Beanie Baby.
While I'm here, I gotta say, the graphics look pretty good, all things considered. They were able to mesh the cartoony style with a more realistic setting, and this area is especially nice to look around no matter what terrain I find myself in. And I just want to explore and learn what this could have possibly used to have been. The only downside I've noticed is that you can see movable objects that are a distance away are slowed down, which is probably done for a good reason, but I think it's a little too noticeable. But that's the only negative I have so far, as the gameplay is good when you face some new and other familiar foes, and find more abilities to copy, and other big items to put in your mouth like a dome.
'Cause sure. By the way, Kirby was the last Nintendo character I thought would have a gun in his nub hands. Now I'm trying to think who hasn't introduced a gun in a Nintendo franchise yet. Well, Pokemon, I guess, if we're not counting the anime.
Sometimes when you complete a level, you'll have these star portals open up around the world mapped in your current area. These are called treasure roads, and they're little-time side quests that require you to do quick tasks that revolve around a given power-up and range from bafflingly easy to surprisingly challenging, at least if you're going for the target time. Rage will creep on you, rest assured. Doing these will earn you some rare stones and extra coinage, the purposes of which we'll get to later as well. When you've finished enough levels and rescued enough Waddle Dees, they'll literally break down the gates for you to fight the area boss.
And I was sort of expecting to fight Wispy Woods, but instead we got Gorilla. The magic of editing and practical effects. He may look intimidating, but with the right copy ability, you can take him down in quick fashion, which is one of the additional tasks you need to do. I didn't get all of them this time around, so I wonder what I'm missing. This is how I initially reacted, but then I remembered it's a Kirby game.
The next few days I played off camera, and in that time I got past Everbay Coast and most of Wonderia remains, though I'm missing a few things there, so let me take care of those real quick. What I've noticed as I progress is that the levels don't really get any more challenging. The trick is finding the additional Waddle Dees, and you won't know how until after a level's completion, so again, expect to do some levels more than once. I'd say the challenge ramps up more on the treasure roads. Some of the later ones took a while to figure out, but that came down to getting some timing down and learning more about how power-ups work with the controls. Speaking of the controls real quick, I changed the scheme to fit my needs, and that can come up on the odd occasion, so remember that you have the option to change it around to fit your playstyle.
Now I was debating whether or not to show this next boss, but I know there's at least one furry that watches my videos, and I try to please everyone, so here you go. Have some pussycat. But not too much.
Clawreline was easy to cut the claws off of, and now we progress to the next area, Winter Horns. But before that, let me show you what the Waddle Dees have been up to in their town. The more you rescue on your quest, the more buildings will be constructed, and each one can do one of an abundance of things, like the weapon shop where you upgrade your copy abilities by means of finding blueprints and other collectibles to get you something more brutally effective.
You can work a shift at the cafe, and I don't know if Nintendo's gonna make any more Game & Watches, but if they do, this would make a great G&W since he never had one. It'd be better than replacing a Sprite.
We have some new buildings right now, including the Coliseum, where it sounds like a boss rush among other modes. That certainly piques the interest of Meta Knight.
Man, this game is heavy on the extras. I like it.
But maybe you just want to cool down, take a load off. There's two ways to do that, and that's waving at the friendly Waddle Dees and abusing the ones that don't acknowledge you, or hang out at your own house and get some sleep to refill your health, or set up some of your figures above the fireplace, because as far as I know, that's all it's good for. Oh, and now we have a second volume of figures to hunt.
And don't waste time on the machines, because from what I've seen, you'll always get new ones every time you do a stage until they're all in your possession. I've never had a double. I don't want to connect to the internet, nerd. Just tell me how many times I've sucked and blowed.
Anyway, onward to the Frozen Land. I usually like winter levels, and Kirby's are pretty solid, 'cause they're frozen. But now by the end of this area, I'm starting to see a slight uptick in challenge. Just a little bit. I mean, this battle on the bridge level has you fighting a gauntlet of mini-bosses, and you have to contend with two at the very end, and you gotta get through them without getting hit, and I tried a few times and I failed and had to restart.
This'll just drive me up the wall. I can see myself getting Mario levels of peeved.
Things got interesting during the next boss as we have our first altercation with our old nemesis, King DDD. He doesn't seem like himself, and he's more powerful than I've ever seen him. And not gonna lie, it almost looked like he had me, but I clutched it out at the cost of Elfling getting captured and taken off to the next area of the desert variety. This is where I've called it for now, but there's still plenty to look forward to, and I can't wait to get through the rest. It's already been enjoyable as most Kirby games are, and I'm excited at the prospect of what else there will be to do when the game is done, or other things I can do in between to keep me interested and entertained. Oh hey, Bandana Waddle Dee is here too if you have a second player.
don't even think about it. So with all that being said, what's my overall opinion?
HAL and Nintendo really went all out for Kirby's 30th birthday, and I really expected nothing less. It's at least more than what they're doing for Zelda, but The Forgotten Land is a great and fun title with classic gameplay now in a more open setting, and with so much to do and explore in, you'll be in this for a long time and a good time. A must get for any Switch owner, and once I'm done with this, I gotta start getting me some retro Kirby games. Any recommendations on what I should get first are appreciated. Need some more pink in my life. So what do you think? Do you agree with me or have your own thoughts? Let me know by leaving a comment. If you like what you see, like the video with those thumbs up. If you think anyone else would like this vid, share it around. And if you want to see more of me, this show, and others, hit the subscribe button. I'm BrianTheBlue, thanks for watching. I'm going back to the past, and until next time, I'll see you in the future.